here's a podcast idea that comes from Jacob, and it's podcast for ants.
Well, you gotta get it down real small, and they won't.
We gotta get the smallest speakers there are. We gotta get all the earbud speakers.
So you have to really introduce it to them slow and show them that it's a good thing. Like, maybe give them, like, some sugar water or something every time the podcast starts. And, like, and then
you think they're, like, Pavlovian?
And then you make them watch...
There's this Pavlovian.
Like, you make them
get them
sit
on
through
podcast,
the whole
get them addicted
thing
to it.
so that they get sugar water. And then, like, they get addicted to it, and they just watch podcasts all day.
I have a different idea that might be easier.
No, wait, I had an idea for the ants thing. There's this exhibit in the Guggenheim Museum, which, like, is meant to, like, exhibit life and stuff like that. And it, like, looks like circuitry and stuff, but it's actually, like, this giant, like, walled-off thing that is full of ants. Like, there's ants in the walls, and you gotta look close. Just put a speaker in that room, and then release those ants into the wild, and they'll spread the word. And they'll come back to the Guggenheim.
But in that museum, if you broke that wall, there would just, like, be ant howl, like, for real?
No, it's not like a room with a giant pile of ants. It's like fucking, imagine circuitry, but the circuitry is windows with ants within.
No, but that means they're still in that museum.
Yes, but then you release them after they listen to the podcast.
I'm saying in real life,
of mouth.
if you were in there
word
and
of
you broke
tiny
it
mouths,
open,
tiny
word
mouths.
of claw.
They don't have claws.
You don't
Well,
know.
then what do they? Word of
Claws.
pincer, whatever the fuck you call those tiny things on their mouths.
Better though, what if we just played the podcast so loudly that it broke all the glass? Not only would they be hearing our podcast, but our podcast freed them from the prison.
It'd probably kill them at that point.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If someone comes to you and is like, hey, check out this podcast, and pulls a giant speaker in front of your house and plays it so loud that it destroys your house, you're not going to want to listen to that. You're going to be like, fucker, destroyed my house. I'm not listening to that.
No, you'd be like, I'm free. I can finally leave my house.
It's not their house. They were put there. It's like a zoo or something. Some shit.
They don't understand the concept of a zoo.
They probably also don't understand the concept of a fucking podcast.
What do they understand?
idea.
What concept do they understand?
Sugar water.
Sugar water.
Okay,
sugar,
so
and
here's the
water.
deal. We make a podcast we make the podcast where the medium of the vibration of the sound is distributed through sugar water.
Yeah.
Good start.
The audio is sugar water, the
podcast.
speech is sugar water, the topic is sugar water. The podcast is sugar water.
I don't do ants like sugar water. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
So are you telling me they don't actually like sugar water in the end?
I think they
It was
might.
all a lie?
But I might be thinking of a different. I think all bugs would have some
Do
capacity of
ants
enjoyment
like
for it.
sugar water? I'm googling it.
All right.
It would be like that kind of. It could be like that episode of fucking Metalocalypse where they discovered that like a water speaker like can destroy everything.
Yeah,
but it would be with ants.
It's a good show.
So they do like sugar water, and they like melted popsicles a lot.
Oh, well then we can like switch it up.
This isn't
so
about fucking popsicles. This is about fucking sugar water.
You're right.
Hey,
I'm
guess
sorry.
what? Popsicle is just fancy frozen sugar water.
Yeah, it just has a color in it.
Which we can't afford in this economy.
That's true. In this economy,
Topical humor.
so what made the podcast really short, so like no one could actually like if you made it so short, then the ants couldn't run away from it because it's just so fast. It just happens so fast that they get to hear all of it in one little go.
They can't run.
It's
Right,
like
no
listen
one
to this
can't
podcast.
run.
No, I don't want to. Oh, I listened to the dang podcast.
I
You
guess
got me.
You did.
You got
You
me.
got me.
Ant. You did it.
You got me. I'm an ant and you tricked me and you got me.
See, that's a beneficial thing to all species on Earth because podcasts. Let's be real. Too long.
What
If it was a second long podcast, everyone you can listen to a whole season within a minute.
Listen.
It's true.
Listening.
Through
good
second hand, like, living, I've learned a lot about animorphs.
First of all, ants don't have hands, but continue.
And I think that, if we had an anamorph, this would be easier.
Hold on.
So we need an Animorph sponsor for our podcast for ants.
Who can turn into an ant and be like, hey, you gotta hear this podcast. It's a second long, you're gonna love it.
Oh my crazy. I gotta ask real quick, Lizzie. When you say you learned it secondhand, what do you mean?
Like, I've never read it.
She was spying on someone
who
who was reading the books.
Like,
She was on a bus.
I'm not relying on anyone, I just hear about it.
Okay, no one listening is going to, like, understand this, but please tell me it was Dog Girl that was obsessed with Animorphs.
Oh no, she didn't. I don't fucking know what she knew about that, but it wasn't her, and I don't give a shit. You think I would retain any of that knowledge if she told me about it? You're an idiot.
For all the listeners, I don't even know that reference.
I don't either.
Yeah, Ty. Good job alienating everyone in the podcast and everyone listening to the podcast.
What the fuck? We're trying to make a podcast for everyone, even ants. We can't pull those kind of references.
You just fucking all the ants left because of you right now, Ty. They're like, what the fuck, Dog Girl? I'm afraid of dogs because I'm an ant and I'm leaving.
Podcast is over.
What topics
are really
ants
into this
interested in?
podcast?
What's the topical discussions in ant discourse?
They don't water. They like A Bug's Life. They like the film Ants with a Z. Probably.
Listen,
I think
we do a film review.
That's very assumptuous.
We do a film review podcast of all the movies with ant characters. Mm-hmm. All 3 of them. There's Ants, A Bug's Life, and that one where the kid gets small.
Ant Bully.
Ant Bully.
Ant Bully.
Maybe Honey, I Shrunk My Kids. I forget if there's any ants in that movie because I've never seen it.
I haven't either.
I think there's like an old...
There was
like
that one guy in it, though.
Film. I think there's like an old 60s
Rick
film
Moranis?
where like a giant ant attacks the whole world.
No, it's them.
That could be
them. It's called Them.